So, I seen where Prince had said it in an interview, and then later on in my own life, um, I had a hit single that I didn't get any royalties from because like the paperwork was done around me, but the song just took off. So it was like some damage control I was trying to do, and I had my business in order, for the most part. As far as an artist, I knew everything to do as an artist and writer, but it just kind of got away from me, you know what I mean? And so even to this day, that song spins on the radio around here and throughout the Southeast, events and stuff, they'll play that and everybody will just, kind of go crazy for it. And then I looked later on as the people they were. So, people advocating for publishing rights, Prince, Michael Jackson advocating for artists to own publishing and be able to learn the game just by watching him, take in this and then pay for that and it later on be an asset to them. So, it's even that mindset that we have to have, especially as independent artists, is to understand like some of the moves that we make now might not pay right now, but it's going to pay later in tremendous ways. So you're absolutely correct, spiritually, whatever, and then the first set of the lines, like the way I set up the lyrics, um it's kind of relevant to how my life journey has been. I've had friends that we start business ventures and then, things will kind of fall apart and then we're not friends anymore, and I'm that type of person, but I can understand if somebody's hurt from a situation or feel, have a different perspective for myself, then, it's going to be, a rough situation. But, when it gets to the point of like you minding your business, you handling your business and doing your thing. And then you just have people that talk down about your ventures or what you're trying to achieve or just being negative against what you strive to do. You hear things sometimes like, oh, you're not Diddy, you're not Oprah, you get compared to other people, and that situation kind of dissipated. So, I was aspirational about getting some kind of, especially like a publishing deal. But after a while, it was like, you know what, like I need to pay attention to what my ancestors, what God trying to show me. And so I started to just like bit by bit, I worked a 9 to 5 and I just started like, buying my LLC, um, I was already a BMI artist. So, being a publisher for BMI